It's a pleasure to be with you all this morning. The first item I'm going to comment on is actually toward the rear of the agenda, and that's the hearing docket. I think it was pretty well established last week in the arguments before the First Circuit Court of Appeals that a hearing is a meeting. That being the case, a hearing being a meeting, as you would well know, you're required to have a period of public comment at a meeting. So, when this hearing transpires, I'll expect to see a period of public comment, and I will address that issue with the Attorney General's office when they come here for that hearing. If there is no period of public comment for that particular meeting, I am alerting the board that you will be knowingly and willfully violating the Open Meetings Law, and I will take the appropriate action. Now,
What are you talking about? Where are we on here?
What are you talking about?
I just asked him that.
hearing docket, Bobby Manuel, for the hearing that will convene at 1 o'clock. That is a meeting. It is defined as a meeting in the Louisiana statute.
So what do you want, Ron?
To have a separate public comment period for that meeting. It is separate and distinct from this meeting.
Okay.
And when Ms. Parish Attorney Mary Roper
Okay.
had her hearing,
I got it.
Okay. Glad we're clear.
Okay. If you want to have a public comment on the hearing, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, now, with regard to the approval of the professional contracts, which is item 8.
Correct. You're correct. Item 8.
Correct. I'll just say that in looking over these contracts, and I hope everyone reads them, because I know last year Ms. Dow's contained a 60% increase for our fine investigator. I believe that type item should be broken out separately. So I don't know what may be in there this time. I'm also taking an issue with the investigative charges being lumped into Ms. Dow's billing. That's why these financial statements always show 0 for investigative charges. I don't believe that's correct, and I'm probably going to take it up to the legislative auditor's office about having that broken out separately, in fact having the bill submitted separately to the LALB. That's with regard to Ms. Dow's contract. When I sat on this board, it was important to me to ensure that the attorneys had malpractice insurance. I don't know whether that's a concern to this board or not. I will just say that yesterday, when Judge Caldwell handed down a penalty to Christy Nichols for not conforming to the public records law, and he popped her with an $800 fine for having done that, $100 a day at 8 days. My guess is she's now quite concerned as to whether or not the attorneys have malpractice insurance. That's up to y'all. Sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but the horse insists on, I'm not going to drink that water, I want the bitter water that's over on the other side. I'm just letting you know that from my vantage point, it's important to look and see if the attorneys have malpractice insurance. I think I've made that point a couple of times before when these contracts came up for renewal. I know it was ignored. It's not going to be me writing the check if you're found personally liable and then have no recourse against a malpractice policy against the attorney because they don't have it. Now maybe they do have it, but it's a fair question to ask, but that's strictly up to y'all. Well, am I about out of time? I would figure so.
No, you still got time.
All right. Well, then I'll wrap up by saying that I am pleased with the selections that are being made for attorneys because I've enjoyed the little dances we've had. I'll say that the Attorney General's office, you know, without Mr. Ballin having given the advice he gave, never would have been able to go. Let's find out whether or not you can have executive sessions when the person tells you you're not going to have an executive session that tells my character. Likewise with Ms. Lindsay Hunter.
Is this on the agenda about Lindsay?
It deals with the renewal of these contracts, yes. Because it's the Attorney General's office who gave you that advice. And that's who you're looking at hiring. So yes, it's on the agenda. Likewise, Ms. Lindsay Hunter, who gave the infamous advice to go seek me for a writ of attachment. So y'all did it. And it got thrown back in your face by Judge Hernandez. So I am thrilled with the selections you're making because I've been able to go after and show that at least in some instances, they don't have a clue what they're talking about. Now surely I'm about out of time now, huh?
Yeah.
All right, whatever time I've got left, I can't yield to anyone, but that'll do for me. And again, it was a pleasure to address y'all this morning.